Welcome, welcome, welcome to day 2 of Very Vegan Holidays. Our first chef today is Paula from La Chancita. She will be making pozole for us, veganized pozole. So without further ado, Paula, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you, and then I will pop back in with questions from our audience in a little bit. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks to you for inviting me. And I'm happy to share with you this recipe that it's probably my favorite dish. I hope you like it. First of all, I'm going to show you the ingredients. You can see it right here. We have, for the broth, 7 chiles guajillos. That looks like this. And 2 chiles anchos. They are like rug kind of looking. And then 2 chiles de árbol. We're going to use 1 onion, 4 cloves, 4 garlic cloves. It's half teaspoon of cumin and 1.5 tablespoons of salt. And then here we have omini. You can use this one. This is gonna make your life easier because it's already washed and it's boiled with lime and it's ready to be cooked. But you can use the traditional corn. All you have to do is wash it, and then you have to boil it with lime. And then you have to, that lime washing and boiling is because you wanna get rid of the skin of the corn. And that takes some time. So this is the easiest version. And then shiitake mushrooms. If you use dried shiitake mushrooms, it's even better because they are gonna soak the flavor of the broth. So they're gonna be more tasty, in my opinion. And then for the toppings, you can add lettuce, onion, radish, oregano, and tostada. And this is not the traditional version, but my husband really likes to add avocado. And even though I was a little bit not very happy with that, I tried it and it tastes really good. So if you want to try that, you can give it a go. And so let's start. First of all, we are going to need our chiles to be washed. You have to take off the top part like this of all of them, okay? That part you don't need. Once you do that, you take every single one of it off. And then same with this one. Chile de árboles already didn't have it, so I'm gonna just throw it away. And then this one. You have to wash them because sometimes they have a little bit of dirt, so it's better to give them a good wash. Once you finish washing them, you're gonna place them here. And this is a step that I like to do where I divert maybe from the original recipe. Most of the people soak the chiles in water, warm water, so they get soft and then they blend it. But in my opinion, just like with salsas, they taste so much better when you place them here and you roast them. Just like with the same way you will do with a salsa, you roast them. And then you're going to add also the onions right here. Again, you can skip this if you don't want to do it. Just like place it over a bowl with warm water so everything gets really soft. But in my opinion, it tastes much better. So you have to roast them over medium or high heat. Just be careful with your fire alarms. I'm telling you for experience. You might want to open a window or something. And then you have to let those chiles roast and the onions too. You can flip them, let them roast for a little while here. And then once it looks like it's a little bit burned, like a little bit coffee, it's not ready yet, but I'm just gonna skip to the next step to make it short. Once you have all of those ingredients, you are going to place all of this into the blender. This is here. And then you're adding also to the blender the cloves, the cummins, and salt. You're gonna place everything here. Everything. And that. Once you have everything inside, you blend everything really, really good till you get this. It must be very well blended. You should not see like big pieces of anything. Once you have it ready, this is the broth. You're going to use a big pot where you are going to place the corn, which is here. And I use this brand, but you can use whatever brand you like. You're going to use 4 cups of corn, but first you must wash it. Okay, so I'll show you right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You wash your corn really well. Get rid of that liquid that comes with the can. And you're going to place it in your big pot where you are going to cook the pozole. Once you have this ready, we are adding also the shiitake mushrooms, which is 1 cup of them. Again, you can use regular shiitake mushrooms, not dry, but I think it's better if you use the dried ones. And you have it here. By the way, I forgot to mention this serving is for about 4 people, at least for hungry people like me and my husband. And then use a strainer. Oh, use a strainer that has like a small holes, not a big ones like this. No, this. Then we are going to strain the content of the blender, which is like a paste. Right here. You want to have a liquid mixture in your pozole. But my mom usually, well, she taught me to make the pozole with a broth that is more thick. I like it that way too. Some people like the broth to be more light and more watery, but in my case, it gives so much more flavor and it adds up a lot. So I'll go with the thick version of it. You can use a spoon on your strainer just to make the process faster. Keep moving around. This will take some time. So once you finish, you'll know when you're done. Once the paste looks like this, this is going to be the result that you end up with your strainer here. So you keep doing that. Add more of the content. And basically you do that till you get all the liquid in the pot. I'm gonna skip to the next step just to make it faster. We are adding 4 cups of water. 4 cups. Oh no, 5 cups. Sorry, 5. Also, I have all the ingredients available with, it's actually a picture, and I have all the ingredients and the measures. So if you wanna have that, just send me an email to La Chancita Vegana. La Chancita is like this, La Chancita. Vegana, as in vegan, with an A in the end, at gmail.com. And I'll be happy to send you this list. And then once you finish adding the 5 cups of water, bringing this delicious pozole to heat. By the way, I just noticed that I skipped one step. Once you finish roasting the chiles, you have to place them on water. It has to be warm. If you want to boil the water and then bring all the ingredients here, place them over here, everything, garlic, the chiles, and then you cover the pot and you let them rest. Once everything becomes really soft so that you can blend it really nicely, that's when you take them out. You have to wait till this cools. Do not place the chiles and everything that's inside when it's hot, because your blender is gonna be broken. So, well, yeah, now you know that step that I forgot to add. And once you have your pozole here, you have to cover it. Where is it? Here. You cover the mixture and boil it for a while. Actually, I normally allow it to cook for around 1 hour. This will make the broth and all the ingredients to mix and taste better. So the longer that you leave it, the better. So maybe an hour and a half. And the funny fact, well, in my opinion, that is that pozole usually tastes better when you reheat it because of that, because of all the ingredients, they kind of melt and blend, and it's one of the rare dishes that I think tastes better when you reheat it. So that's something interesting. And so you leave this pot again for about an hour or so, and that's when the pozole is ready. Where is it? Here. Ta-da! Not sure if you can see it. This is how the final result is, but you need to add, to make it even better, the lettuce. I'm trying to find a way to make this. ¿Me ayudas to speak? So you have to add the lettuce. Onions. Radish. Oregano. And you can eat it with a tostada and limes. You add lime in the broth and it will taste so much better. One more thing, you'll see that in the ingredients list, there is oil, 2 tablespoons. That is completely optional. And the only reason why I add it is because it gives this greasy texture that you wouldn't normally get on a vegan pozole, since it's cooked without any meat and all that grease is not there. So in my opinion, if you use, it can be even 1 tablespoon, or whatever you prefer, you can skip it too. But in my opinion, it kind of, not sure if you can tell, but it actually looks greasy, and it's because of that. And you add the oil once you're boiling it with all the ingredients, and that's an extra step. If you're trying to eat healthier, maybe you can skip that, but definitely worth mentioning. And that's it. You can eat it with you eat it like this, and then a tostada. I'm not gonna eat it because it's cold right now. This is just the demo.
Oh, that looks beautiful.
And that's it. Not sure if someone has any questions.
That looks absolutely gorgeous. And that's everybody in the audience is agreeing with me. That looks amazing. I bet it smells wonderful too.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, with all the chiles and the slow. So how long, when it's on the stove, it's actually going once all the ingredients are together, it's actually cooking on the stove for an hour?
Yeah, about an hour. That's what I normally do, but maybe you can try more or less. But yeah, definitely, in my opinion, an hour. And if some of the broth escapes, you can add more water to make it more watery again. But that's, I mean, it depends on how you like your pozole. So maybe some people like a lot of broth. Some people don't like that many broth. So I guess it depends on how you like it.
I love that kind of thicker broth that you prepared today. That looks amazing. That looks so good. And
Yeah.
it's bringing back like all of these like flavor memories for me. And I love that you can leave the oil out. You can put the oil in for like kind of a more authentic traditional kind of taste, kind of a more authentic mouthfeel, but you can totally leave it out for if you're a no oil vegan like our friend Linda Middlesworth, or if you're just eating healthier, or you can add it in, or even add a little, just add a teaspoon and add a tablespoon instead of 2 tablespoons. That's a really good tip.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I love it. And if anybody has any questions, please pop them in the chat. I'm watching the chat right now. Sorry, I'm a little blind, so I'm leaning into it. And Erin, thank you so much for popping La Chasita's website into the chat. So if you want to see all the other amazing things that Paula does, you should definitely check out her website. There are so many delicious options there. And that's also where people can find out about your upcoming pop-ups, correct?
Yeah. Well, actually, it's 2 projects. La Chancita is my pop-up. It's my taco pop-up in the Bay Area, but I also share online recipes on my YouTube channel, Paola Lozano Yoga, which is my name in yoga. And that in that YouTube channel, you can find some recipes and free yoga classes too.
Oh, and we did have a question about the peppers. Do you do anything special to the peppers prior to roasting them?
No, just wash the peppers and take the top part off, wash them really good, and then you place them, you roast them, and after roasting them, you place them on the pot with the warm water. You can bring it to boil and then place them and cover and turn the heat off, and just make everything be very soft, all the ingredients.
Oh, yeah. And all those flavors get to know each other once they've been in the pot cooking for about an hour too. That's such, oh, I love it. I love it so much. And I love that you've taken a recipe that I love and brings back so many childhood memories for me. And now I can do it vegan.
Okay, I'm happy. Yeah. And it's very easy. Like, Mexican recipes come from an indigenous background, like the roots of it. So, and most of what indigenous people used to eat was plant-based. Like, the most of it was that. So, and a funny fact is that pozole was originally made with human meat. And when Spaniards came, they were like, "Oh no, this is so wrong." And I feel that it's showing how it's the social justice is progressing. So now it's we got to the point where we are horrified of doing that to animals. Like every species counts, right? So I think that this is a legacy, and it shows that everything can be remade and kind of be better with each other.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we can put a healthy and compassionate spin on all of these traditional favorites. And I just love that you took that and did that with Pizzoli, because that's one of those ones that you just rarely see a vegan take on it. And I don't know why, because it's like all the best ingredients are vegan. Like all the best ingredients are vegan already.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. And
Thank you
especially
so
again with,
much.
no, thanks to you.
That was so much fun to watch. And I really appreciate your tips on roasting the chilies too, because that's something often people forget. Like you need to have a little, you need to take it slow. It's all about slow food.
Yeah.
And you know, we have a little more time on our hands right now with the pandemic, so take
Oh, yeah.
advantage of that and make some slow food. Oh, and we did have a question. Where's a good place to find those chilies?
You can find them at any supermarket, any Mexican supermarket. So if you live in San Francisco, for example, on the Mission, you'll find tons of it. Every single city, especially in the Bay Area, it's very common to find Mexican or like Latin American food. So you can go to any of those groceries and you'll find everything.
And I always like to let folks know, definitely shopping at the local independent family owned shops, help them out during this time. It's so important. The big grocery stores, the big chains, they don't need our financial help, but the small family owned businesses really do. So please support those independent businesses, folks. And
Yes.
thank you so much, Paula. And if people want to get details on the recipe itself, please send Paula an email. Could you give your email address again, please?
Yes. Would you like me to write it on the chat or not? Or...
Oh yeah, that would be fabulous. Thank you.
Oh, someone.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. See, it's a team effort. It takes a village. It takes a village.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Paula. And I hope we get to work together again soon.
Perfect. Thank you so much. It was really fun.
Have a great day and happy holidays.
You too. Happy holidays.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lisa, and I'm a plant-based chef and a plant-based educator, or as I like to call myself, a professional vegucator. And I am really excited to be able to be here with you today to share with you the joys of plant-based food. I love being able to vegucate, and with everything that's been going on with COVID, I haven't been able to get out there and do my vegucations at Kaiser, which is normally where I would be vegucating the patients and the staff and the physicians at the hospitals and doing my corporate wellness events. But what makes me happy is being able to vegucate everyone and anyone. And so today we're going to be able to do a mishmash of two different cultures. And guess what, everybody? I'm a mishmash of two different cultures. So my father grew up in Appalachia, and we all know about the Appalachia mountain regions, right? And so he grew up there, one of 9 children, the first one to go to college. And he was in New York City doing some of his graduate work. And he got introduced to my mother, who came from a conservative Jewish family, and he fell in love with her. And my mom's family said, well, there's no way you're going to marry my mother unless you become Jewish. So my father converted to Judaism to marry my mother and agreed to raise his children Jewish. And I'm the first of the brood. And so I got the best of both worlds, being raised in a Jewish tradition, also having some Christian tradition as well. And one of the best things with that tradition is being able to experience the food. But I got to tell you, a lot of Jewish food is very unhealthy, and a lot of Christian food is very unhealthy. And when I became vegan, I was really grateful to be able to veganize it. So, Kugel. I'm sure if you come from a Jewish tradition, you've had Kugel, and it's Kugel, and that is a Yiddish word that means ball. So you're like, ball, how could that be delicious? A word that means ball. Well, what Kugel is it is a noodle pudding, okay? But it could also be a savory potato pudding. So I want to show you how to make it veganized, because traditionally the way my family would do it would be really kind of, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to say a lot of animal words, with cottage cheese, with eggs, with butter, with cream, with all of those things. But we're going to make it very easily in a very delicious way, and also with sour cream. Now, yesterday, Hannah showed you how to make a really delicious sour cream with her way, and I want to show you how I do it my way, okay? And it's very, very similar, but I'm just going to show you a little bit. And it all starts with the beautiful, wonderful cashew. So what I've done is I have soaked my cashews in some water. And she had mentioned that you can boil your cashews, but I just soaked mine for a few hours. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to strain my cashews, and I'm going to put them in the blender with a few ingredients to get started. So let me just get my strainer. 1 second. Okay. And I like using my little baby blender. So this is my little baby blender. And I recommend that you use the little baby blender when you're making your cashew sour cream, because the smaller one is going to create an easier volcanic blend. And so my demo Kugel is ready to come out of the oven. So let me get that out of the oven now, and then you're going to see how I put it together. But I can't show it to you until the very end. So let me get it out of the oven now. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful, everybody. Okay. Go. I'll just turn off the oven. Turn off. There we go. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to strain my cashews with my strainer. And this is about, the way that I do it is with 1 cup of cashews. 1 cup of cashews that's going to go into the blender. And with that 1 cup of cashews, everybody, we are going to just put a 1/2 cup of water. 1/2 cup of water, real easy. It'll go into the blender. And then from there, we are going to put in just a pinch of Himalayan salt. And this is the type of salt that I like to use versus the traditional iodinized salt. So I'm just going to put a little pinch of that into the blender. And next, I'm going to put in a little bit of lemon. And what I do is I just take my lemon and I just cut off the ends of it. And then I'm going to use my wonderful squeezer here to squeeze my lemon into the blender here. You have to, this is also really good for working out. Squeeze my lemon in here because it's sour cream, and how else are you going to sour it, right? So we squeeze that in. And the next thing that I'm going to put in is a little bit of ACV, or what I like to call apple cider vinegar. One reason I love ACV is because it's a great source of probiotics. So we just do this and put about a capful of ACV in the blender. And I'm going to blend this. And this is going to give me the sour cream that is going to be the base for our wonderful, delicious Kugel. So let me go off camera and I'll just be right back. Okay, everybody, in less than a minute, look what we have. We have some wonderful, delicious, non-cow, rich, delicious sour cream. And this can last in the refrigerator for at least 2 weeks. And this is a wonderful, great, delicious topping that can go on top of almost anything, like your blintzes, your latkes, on top of your burritos, whatever you want. So we are going to put this, at least a cup of it, into our bowl. And what's great about it is it's no oil. If you buy that tofutti crap in the store, you're gonna get lots of oil, and who needs that, right? Because that oil is going to inflame your arteries. Who wants to inflame your arteries during the holidays, right? Okay, so, and by the way, everybody, you're going to get these recipes. So, okay. All right, the next thing that we're going to put in is some cream cheese. Now, when I grew up in Philadelphia, everybody, when I grew up in Pennsylvania, we would have the Philadelphia cream cheese, but you don't want the Philadelphia cream cheese. So a great cream cheese that you can use is the wonderful, delicious Kite Hill. And the Kite Hill is made out of almonds and a little bit of salt and some almond milk. And this is a much better way to have your cream cheese. Now, say you can't get to the store and get the Kite Hill. Well, another alternative, everybody, that you can do is you can get the cream cheese from Trader Joe's. Now, this one does have some oil in it, but it is a soy-based cream cheese, and you can use this, and we would put 8 ounces of this cream cheese into our bowl, okay? Because we want to make a nice creamy custard for our Kugel. And at the time, you want to be preheating the oven to about 350 degrees. And you want to be cooking your noodles. So the type of noodles that you want to be cooking is about 13 ounces of a egg type of noodle, but of course without the eggs. So a wide noodle like this that you can get anywhere. Or if you want to, you can use the lasagna noodles that are no cook and just break them up into small pieces. So you want to pre-cook these noodles and drain them and cook them al dente. That's what I prefer to do, but if you don't want to pre-cook your noodles, you can just use the lasagna noodles, the kind that cook with the lasagna, and just break them up into small pieces. The next step that we want to do for our wonderful, delicious Kugel base is add a little bit of sugar. Now, not all sugar is created equal, everybody. So the type of sugar that I buy is the bone char free. If you're buying traditional sugar, it generally is made with or processed with animal bones and made with genetically modified beets. So I always buy my sugar pure, made from cane sugar with bone char free. So that's what I recommend doing. And we're going to put a half a cup of sugar in here, which is really not a lot to make a really wonderful dessert. And we're going to put in 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Now, there are 2 types of cinnamon. There's the cassia cinnamon, which is the more popular cinnamon, and the Ceylon cinnamon. And if you have your druthers, I recommend getting the Ceylon cinnamon, which is a higher quality cinnamon versus the cassia. So we're going to put in 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Okay. And once again, everybody, you will receive the recipes. So all of you, you will get the recipes. And we're going to put in a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Growing up in Pennsylvania, we only had imitation vanilla extract, and you all deserve pure vanilla extract. So we're going to put in about a teaspoon of the pure vanilla. Okay. Okay, and to add just a little bit more sweetness, everybody, we're going to add about 1/4 cup of apple juice. So the apple juice that I recommend is the unfiltered apple juice, not the kind of apple juice that they serve with kids' school lunches, but the pure unfiltered apple juice. Okay, so we'll put in about 1/4 cup. Of the apple juice. And the last ingredient that we're going to add to our wonderful, delicious Kugel to make it the sweet curd, because there was the tradition, usually this was with the Ashkenazi Jews, the European Jews. This is not really a Sephardic Jewish tradition, was to have the sweet noodle Kugel, so we're going to, instead of the sweet curd cheese, we're going to be using tofu to represent the sweet curd cheese. So I'm using some soft tofu or silken tofu to be able to do that. And what I'm going to do is I am going to drain the tofu, drain the liquid off of the tofu. And you see I've got my tofu block here, and I'm just going to stick it in the bowl. And I'll just show you how we're going to mix it together. And as we mix it together, everybody, you're going to see how it's going to become kind of curdy. I know that's kind of a weird word to say it's kind of curdy, but I don't know what other word to say, Christy. I don't know. I don't know what's a vegan word for curd. I don't know. But we're just mixing this together. Here we go. And it just smells really wonderful. I wish I had like a smell-o-vision here. Okay. And this is nice. And there's just a few more steps to wonderful Kugelness. So something that I've always done with my desserts that I really love is I love the taste of apples. So I have a wonderful apple here, and I love to be able to put little bits of apple in here. And I also really love being able to put some raisins in there as well too. So I'm going to put about 1/2 cup of raisins into the Kugel. I'm just going to kind of sprinkle them in there. And what's so exciting is that the raisins, which are dried grapes, we all know that, and I always buy my raisins organic because there's lots of pesticides put on grapes. As I put the raisins in there, everybody, what's going to happen is they are going to expand. They're going to expand and they're going to get soft, and they're going to create a wonderful, delicious flavor when this dish is baked in the oven. And who doesn't like biting into sweetness and deliciousness? I know I like biting into sweetness and deliciousness, and I'm sure most of you do too, right? Okay, all right. So I've got my raisins in here. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and chop up some apple. Okay, I hope I'm not boring anybody. If you're bored, raise your hand. I can't see anybody, but I hope I'm not boring anybody today. Okay, because I said I would try to be as exciting as possible. So, all right. So now I've got this apple, and the apple that I have is a Fuji apple. And this is really important to everybody. You know, take the label off of your apple. Okay, that's really important because it would really suck if you're eating a bite of Kugel and you get the label in your mouth because you could choke on it. And that would really suck if you're eating some Kugel and you go, you know, that would really suck, right? So take the label off of your apple, okay? And so what I like to do is I cut my apple like this. And I save the core of my apple. Now, some of you might get mad when I tell you this, but I feed the apple cores to the raccoons. And I know some people say you don't want to feed the raccoons, but I like the raccoons, you know, and they like the apple cores. And sometimes I feed them to the deer, feed them, you know, throw them in the woods for the deers. But generally, because there's a bunch of pools around here in Pleasanton, so I just kind of throw them out there for the creatures, and they like them. And so I'm just gonna chop up the apples into some little bits. Okay. And we're just going to put some little bits of apple in there. And this is just going to create some nice sweetness. Okay. Yep. Some nice sweetness for our wonderful, wonderful kugel here. Just cutting it into little pieces. You don't want the apple pieces to be too big, everybody. You just want them to be just kind of a nice size. Just throwing it in there. Right. And remember, my noodles have already been cooked al dente. My oven is preheated to 350. Oh, I turned off my oven, so let me turn it back on. Okay. Putting the apple in there. And stand by, because we're going to make a delicious drink too, everybody. We're going to make a delicious drink. And you know what? My cutting doesn't have to be perfect for this. You know, I'm trying to go fast here on the camera, so it's okay. Here we go. Here. And here are my noodles. Oodles of noodles. Remember there was that like cup of soup thing called oodles and noodles in college? I don't know, did any of you ever eat those, right? That was just pure chemicals and garbage. Okay, and so we're just going to put our noodles in here. Here we go. They're cooked noodles. We just put them in there. And we are just going to mix this up with our wonderful Kugel cream. And it just smells so good. We're just breaking up the noodles as we do this. And there is an optional step, everybody, that you can do for your noodle Kugel. And this is something that appeals a lot of times more to kids. But, you know, with the holidays, I think it's bringing out the kid in all of us, right? So what you can do is you can make a crispy topping for the top of your Kugel. And what you can do is you can take corn flakes and or whatever type of Wheaties or Raisin Bran, whatever type of cereal you have, mix it with a little bit of melted Miyokos, a little cinnamon, a little sugar, and then you can sprinkle it on the top of your Kugel if you want to. You don't have to do that. Okay, well, look at that. Doesn't that look pretty good, everybody? Doesn't that look pretty Kugely? I don't know what else, I don't know what else to call it. All right. So we've got our wonderful Kugel here, and I'm taking a casserole dish. I've got a casserole dish. And this is optional. You can do it if you want to. You can take a little bit of Miyokos, or you can take a little bit of, you know, the coconut spray or whatever it is, and spray your pan like this. Don't overspray it, people, just a little. I know it kind of gets exciting when you're spraying away, right? And then we're going to pour our Kugel into, here, let me show you. We're going to pour it into our dish. Here we go, kind of smushing it down. Okay. Here we go. Look at that. Look at that, everybody. Wow. There. Just kind of spread that out. And you can very easily make this gluten-free if you want to use gluten-free noodles, everybody. And there's only a half a cup of sugar in this whole thing, which makes it very low glycemic. So you don't need to have a lot of sugar to have a wonderful, traditional, delicious Jewish dessert. And you can see there wasn't a bunch of oil in here either, because, or saturated fat and cholesterol, right? So you can have your Jewishiness and deliciousness. Okay, I just made that word up, right? So you can have all of that for the holidays, right? Exciting. Now, I'm not gonna make the topping for this one, but I just told you what to do because I gotta make the nice nog for y'all. So, and I said y'all because of my friend Hannah, who's in Austin. Love you, Hannah. So, yeah, and Diane, who's from Austin. So, but yeah, the topping, just take corn flakes, Raisin Bran, Wheaties, whatever it is, and put a little bit of melted Miyoko's or coconut oil on top with a little cinnamon, a little sugar, smush it, you know, get your aggression about COVID out, just go smushy, smushy, and then sprinkle it on top. And after I make the nice nog, I'm gonna show you the finished kugel, and I'm gonna take a bite on camera, and through osmosis, you're gonna be able to taste it with me. Is that okay? Is that all right, everybody? All right, so, all right. Okay, I'm gonna have to bake this later because yeah. All right, so let's make some nice nog. Traditional eggnog is gross. Let's think about it. Let's think about it, okay? I'm gonna drink this drink that is made with heavy cream, eggs, and sugar. And then I'm gonna put some whiskey or some bourbon in it. And I'm just gonna keep drinking it and drinking it. And that is going to go through my body and my heart and my liver, and I'm gonna think this is fun. Well, let me tell you, that is not fun. Your body is going to rebel and you're probably going to get really sick. So I wanted to make a nog that was nice and fun for the holidays. And that's why I'm calling this my nice nog, because it's not gonna kill you. And I don't know you, but I don't want you to die. So that's why I'm making this nice nog, all right? So, first of all, to make my nice nog, you are going to need a high-speed blender. If you don't have a high-speed blender, your nog isn't going to be as nice, but it'll still be a good nog, okay? But you know, but a high-speed blender makes it so much better. And so this is I'm gonna use a blend tech, but you could use a Vitamix. It doesn't matter, you know, whatever. And so I am using some unsweetened almond milk, and the unsweetened almond milk that I like is from Trader Joe's. This is the unsweetened vanilla almond milk. And you could use the almond breeze if you prefer. You could use an oat milk, but you want to make sure that it's unsweetened, and I'll tell you why, okay? So whenever you use plant milk, you want to shake it, okay? So that you get the sentiment out from the bottom of it. And so remember those shake weights that they had in the 80s? They were like kind of perverted. And that's how I feel sometimes when I'm shaking almond milk. I don't know why, I just kind of feel that way, I don't know. But anyway, so we're just kind of shaking our almond milk, okay? And this almond milk has been in the refrigerator. And so this is a quart. And do you all know how many cups are in a quart, right? That's 4. So there's 4 cups in a quart, and there's 2 cups in a pint. So so if you want to half the recipe, okay, you'll understand when you when you get the recipe, okay? So anyway, so we're just going to pour a quart in here, okay? Here we go. All right. Here we go. Now, one of the things that I understand is some people have a sweet tooth, and some people, you know, some people like things sweeter than others. I get it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with 3 dates because I think 3 dates is good. And the best dates, the dates that I like the most are my medjool dates. And medjool dates are the most caramely. They, in my opinion, they're the most delicious. So what we do is we just take the medjool dates and I open it up like this, and you can see it's nice and caramely on the inside. And I'm going to put them inside here. And it's really important to take the date out, okay? If you want to use a deglet date or a honey date, you need 2 of them for every medjool date, okay? And it's also really important that you keep your dates in the refrigerator, everybody. So if you don't keep your dates in the refrigerator, they're going to get sugar on the top of them. They're going to start crystallizing sugar on the top. So that's why it's really important that you keep them in the refrigerator. Right now it's colder, but in the summer months, your dates are going to kind of ferment. So that's why I recommend keeping them in a BPA-free plastic container in the fridge. Okay. All right. Let's do 4 dates. I kind of feel sweet today, so let's go ahead and do that. All right. So we've got our dates in here. And now to mimic the creaminess of eggnog, because normally they put heavy cream in there, which is just so gross if you think about it, I'm going to use macadamia nuts, right? Macadamia nuts are really nice and creamy and delicious, but I'm not going to use a lot of nuts because we don't need a lot. We just need 1/4 of a cup, and 1/4 of a cup, if you think about it, is 2 ounces, which is really nothing. It's really nothing because we've got 4 cups of almond milk in here. So we're just going to take 1/4 of a cup of macadamia nuts here. That's it. Just that's nothing. So we got 1/4 of a cup of the macadamia nuts, and we're going to put them in there. Easy, really easy. And now we're going to put in our spices. And the spices that are going to go into our nice nog is a nice heaping 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and a nice heaping 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg is going to go in there. And of course, we're going to put in some vanilla. Now, you can put in a vanilla bean, right? I like to use a vanilla bean, but I realize it's COVID and a lot of us are financially strapped. I get it. So instead of the vanilla bean, why don't we just use a teaspoon of vanilla extract? That's going to be more financially feasible and manageable than using a vanilla bean, okay? But if you're rich, go ahead and use a vanilla bean chopped into pieces. If you're more like me, use a teaspoon of vanilla extract, okay? It's not going to be as beautiful, but that's okay. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, everybody, right? Okay. And if you want to make it a little bit creamier and frothier, one of the things that you can do, this is an ingredient that I've used before, is a little bit of, oh, sorry, I'm trying to open this here, is a little bit of soy lecithin. And soy lecithin is really a great emulsifier. And this is also great for coating the myelin sheaths of the nerves. And I really like putting it in. So I'm just going to put a teaspoon in. A teaspoon of some soy lecithin, and I keep this in the refrigerator. So you can put this in for your wonderful, delicious smoothie. I mean, wonderful, delicious, nice nog. And there's one last ingredient, everybody, for your nice nog. Anybody want to guess what it could be? Anybody? Okay. Guess what? Bananas! Woohoo! Bananas! That's right. And so what you're going to do is you're going to either use fresh bananas and ice cubes or frozen bananas. And what I like to tell my students is that it is wonderful if you can have frozen bananas in your freezer. That is a great, great thing to have frozen bananas in your freezer. And it is a great vegan thing to have because every day we're going to use a frozen banana in our smoothie, right? And so I just happened, guess what? Guess what? I have frozen bananas in my freezer. Can you believe it? I got them. So let me get those out of my freezer. Look, I have them. So, okay. All right. And I'm just going to put them in there. And that's about 3 frozen bananas. And then I am just going to blend this. And then I'm going to drink it on camera. Okay. So just give me a moment and I'll blend this for you. Okay. So this is really nice and creamy and delicious. And I have a beautiful glass to be able to drink it out of. And I'm going to pour it for you. I'm going to pour it for you on camera, everybody, so you can see how great this is. How great this is. Okay. Okay, everybody, let's see here. See, my hair is getting messed up because I'm so excited to be doing this for you. My hair is getting all messed up, okay? All right, ready? Because I'm running around the kitchen, you know. All right, so here we go. Ready? Here we go. And you can see there's like a beautiful, like nice kind of a froth on top. Look at that. Oh, wait, oh. Look. Ooh, look at that. And let's see if I can give myself an almond milk mustache. Do you want to see if I can do it? All right, let's see. Look at this. This is just so delicious. And what is fabulous is there's no sugar in it. There's no oil. The sweetness in this is coming only from the dates and the bananas. It's coming from what I like to call God's food. You don't need to have all that processed crap. And what I like to say is this is whole foods, plant-based or whole plant food. And this is beautiful, wonderful food. Now, say that you're a single person living at home during COVID. You're like, Lisa, I don't want to make all of this nice nog. This is just too much for myself. This is just too much. Well, what you can do is you can take the leftover nice nog and you can make yourself French toast. You can take it and you can dip the bread in it, and then you can make yourself a French toast the next day. And it is absolutely wonderful and delicious. You can add some flour to it, and you can make yourself some pancakes out of it. You can add some accoutrements to it. You can freeze it and make yourself a little bit of a sorbet out of it. And it is just absolutely wonderful and delicious. And to decorate it for the holidays, when you have guests, you can put a cinnamon stick in it or a candy cane. Candy canes are vegan. Just, you know, you just want to make sure that the sugar that's being used in the candy cane is vegan. You can sprinkle some nutmeg on top. If you want to drink your sorrows away, you could put a little bit of whiskey or bourbon in there, you know, if you want to. So that's a possibility. And get ready, everybody. If you want to, they have vegan whipped cream. So they have soy whip out there, they have coconut whip, and they have rice whip. Now, I told you all that I would take a bite of the Kugel on camera for everybody. And so do you want to see what the Kugel looks like when I cut into it? Okay. So here is what it looks like, everyone. Look at that. Oh my gosh, my mother would be proud, right? Right, so, right? And you can see on the side, you can see the beautiful noodles, and you can see the raisins, and then you can see the corn flakes on top. Right? And I gotta tell you, the box of corn flakes that I found in the cabinet, corn flakes will last through the zombie apocalypse, everybody. And it doesn't matter if your corn flakes have been there for a while. It's just going to go on the top. So it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. So, okay. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and we'll do a nice little serving of our Kugel here. And then I think we have a few minutes for questions. I think we'll have, so yeah. All right, so I'm gonna cut into it. I'll show you on camera as I'm cutting in. You can hear the crunch. I hope you can hear the crunch. Okay. And, oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, everybody. Look at this. Look. Oh my. Oh my, look at this. Look at this. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. I don't know if there's any other fellow members of the tribe out there, but I hope you're getting excited with me, you know. I hope you're getting excited out there, and you don't have to be a member of the tribe to like Jewish food, right? Okay, and so what I'm gonna do, that's an inside Jewish joke, you know, being a member of the tribe, I think. Okay, right. All right, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of the, look at that, everybody. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Okay, and so I'm going to take a bite for the camera. Would you like me to, you want me to take a bite, everybody? Okay, so, okay. We'll just take a bite with a little bit of the whip and the noodles, and let's see if it came out okay. Mm-hmm. Wow.
That looks so good.
You know what? This is good. It's really.
Is it? What's
really,
the texture
really
like? Is the texture like an ambrosia salad or?
No, it's like a really, it's like a soft noodle. It's like can you imagine a casserole? It's like imagine, you know, like when you eat like a casserole, but it's sweetness from the apples and the creaminess coming from the tofu and from the cream cheese and from the sour cream, and it is just heaven. It is like a mouth party. It's like a mouth party. And I want to say something, you know, just really quick, Christy, and then if there's any questions, I'll, you know, say I'll just say it to everybody. And the Kugel, somebody's just asking if it freezes well. It really doesn't freeze that great. You can freeze it, but it is best. It's delicious cold, but warm is the best. yes, we can deliver, you know, we can deliver. This is a comfort food, and there are not many chefs out there doing stuff like this, and I'm grateful to be doing it. And one of the things I just wanted to share is I wish that I could see all of your beautiful Shana Punums, you know, which is your beautiful shining faces. That's a Yiddish expression. And when COVID hit, it's just been it's been very hard. Like I said, I was used to going and being a Kaiser and corporate events all over the Bay Area, and everything suddenly stopped. And I was just feeling really, really, really down, really sad. And also as a therapist, my master's degree as a therapist, and I wasn't able to go into any of my facilities. And I was just, you know, I was just spending a lot of time praying. I meditate and pray every day. And I was like, you know, God, how am I going to do my vegucating? How am I going to do this? What, you know, how am I going to keep getting this message out? And then I got a phone call a few months later, and they said, you know, Lisa, would you be willing to teach cooking classes for $75, 1 hour a week, to people with mental illness? And I was like, wow, absolutely. And that's a big step down from where I was, but it's a blessing that I'm so grateful for. That, you know, God's using me to share the joys of veg with people with mental illness and disabilities. And I just showed them how to make nice nog. And they were like, smoothie, and they don't understand the concept of, you know, vegan eggnog. To them it's a smoothie, but they don't care. And you know, I just want to share with you that the joys of veg are for everyone, the most marginalized people. And you know, I'm grateful to share it with anyone and everyone. And going from sharing it with doctors and nurses and Kaiser patients to sharing it with the mentally ill has been a humbling experience, and also one of the greatest blessings. And everything is a mitzvah. And I'm grateful to be doing this mitzvah for all of you today. And you bless me. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to bless you. And thank you, Christy, for the Vegetarian Society. Thank you all. I love you.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I love the work that you do. I love your creative recipes. And I'm so excited to try both of those. I'm really, really excited to try both of those. I have a major sweet tooth, as everybody knows. I have a major sweet tooth, and those just look amazing. And if you have a moment, we did have a couple of interesting questions that I wanted to throw your way.
Sure.
In the Kugel, would it be possible dates?
I'm sorry, what's that?
In the Kugel, would it be possible to replace the sugar with dates?
You could use date sugar. Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm.
Excellent, excellent. And soy lecithin, where is a good place for folks to pick that up?
Well, interestingly enough, you can get it at Whole Foods in the nutrition section, in the refrigerated section. You can get it. And also, when I was at Loving Hut Supply in the South Bay, they sell it.
Oh, Loving Hut has so many awesome things.
Yeah,
they really do.
At Whole Foods in the refrigerated section, they sell it, and you want to make sure it's non-GMO soy lecithin. Yeah.
Oh, good tip. That's a great tip. And in the Nice Nog, would there be a substitution for the bananas?
Well, the bananas are like starchy and creamy. So I haven't thought about that. Maybe Hannah could come up with an idea for that.
And I know that Hannah's actually watching, and she says thanks for the shout outs, and she's loved watching you today.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a tough one. For the bananas, I mean, because you really want that starchy creaminess. I mean, she's saying maybe a vegan yogurt
Yeah,
or something.
that's an interesting idea.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, they could experiment with different, with different. I mean, the only thing that comes to mind is maybe some jackfruit. Maybe
Oh,
some
that's another
jackfruit.
idea. Yeah, you could use the sweet
The
jackfruit.
sweet jackfruit.
Yeah.
Some frozen jackfruit might be a possibility because it's sweet, but I don't know if it's going to give you the creaminess. Right.
Yeah, that's true. What an interesting idea. You know, I never ever in my life used or even thought about freezing a banana until I went vegan, and now I use frozen bananas for just about everything. So I highly recommend everybody getting on board the frozen banana train if you like bananas. You know, you see a banana going south, maybe a little bit past its prime. Throw that baby in the freezer because you'll use it. I promise you, you will use it.
Oh yeah, and also Christy, I just wanted to say something else too. Is that I've created some unique snacks of some artisan vegan truffles and raw vegan granolas and some unique preserves with foraged fruit and things like that. And if people want to know more, they can contact me through my website, cheflisaveg.com.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I highly recommend going to Chef Lisa's website because it has so many awesome things. You definitely want to check it out, and you definitely want to get on board with some Chef Lisa food for sure. Everybody get on board with that right away because, oh my goodness, your truffles are out of this world.
Thank you.
Like truly out of this world. One of my favorite things. That's one of the things I really miss about, one of the many things I miss about not being able to do World Veg Fest in person this year was your truffles. I mean, it's like something I look forward to every single year, and we didn't get that this time. But
well, it's a desire of my heart. I really would like to take them to market because they're really unique with no oil and fair trade, artisan, and very, very unique. Nothing like them on the market. And I know a lot of people that have come to World Veg Fest have had them, and with my no oil raw vegan granolas are really unique too. And if anybody has any extra fruit and they want someone to turn it into magic, I will turn it into magic for you and give you some of the bounty.
So if anybody has any like overproducing fruit trees, get in touch with Lisa.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Or if any of you know of a special needs person in need, I'd be glad to give them some vegan food. They have my heart. A person with mental illness or with special needs or a physical or mental or developmental or spectrum, they have my heart, and I'd be glad to do something for them. So.
Thank you so much for the work you do, Chef Lisa. We really appreciate it. And thank you for being part of the San Francisco Veg Society family. We love you.
It's God through me. So thank you for the work that you do. Thank you, everybody. Love you.
Thank you. We'll see you soon, Lisa.
Bye. Thank you.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you're enjoying the program so far. We have one more fabulous chef today for you on Very Vegan Holidays. And she is one of my favorites. I think she's one of everybody's favorites. Chef Reyna Montenegro. She will be making us some festive vegetable lumpia today, which is actually one of the many things that I love that she makes. And I know we're all super excited for Reyna. Let me just see if she is ready to join us. Hold on just a moment. Hi, Reyna.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course.
It's so nice to see your lovely face.
Nice to see you. You're my favorite too, by the way.
Oh, thank you, my friend. Thank you. I am so excited about these lumpia. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you, and then I'll pop back in with questions later.
Okay, so there's going to be cooling period before I wrap them so that my wrappers don't get messed up. So I will let you know when I'm done with that. And then we can do the questions if you guys want.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's perfect.
I just saw Erin say, Reyna! Oh my God. Okay. So what we're gonna do first, okay, let me just tell you what I have here. The good thing about vegetable lumpia is it's basically one of those dishes where you can clean out your fridge, you know, when you want to get rid of vegetables. And that's what I do most of the time. So I have garlic, I have onion, I have like frozen peas and carrots. You can also add corn here if you want. I have green beans, I have cabbage, and I have some kind of like plant-based meat that you have. If you don't have it, you don't have to use it. It's okay. I have soy sauce. I have some mushroom powder. I have black pepper, and then I have a slurry of flour and water, 1:1. So 1 tablespoon water, 1 tablespoon flour. And I'm gonna cut my garlic and then my saute stuff. And then you can go from there. So I'm gonna add a little bit of oil on the pan here. You don't have to, you can put water. Some people don't like using oil, but I do because I'm Filipina. So I'm cutting up my garlic here. You can just mince it, chop it, however you want. I don't like big pieces of garlic, so I like to really mince mine all the way. There you go. So I do want to put my onions in so my garlic doesn't burn. So I'll put in the onion first. Put it in there. Wait for it to get translucent. Okay. And then I'm gonna also cut my green beans. And my mom used to always add this to her veg lumpia. So I'm actually dedicating this to my mom because she used to always add a little bit of meat into her veg lumpia, which I never understood, but I guess it makes it taste good. But anyway, she would cut these things really long, like long way, like this. Like kind of a julienne. Let me turn this down before it attacks me. And yeah, so julienne like this, just a few of them. Because I already have mixed vegetables. You can also do like, you know, anything you want. I always say, put whatever you want. There's no rules. You know, if you want to put any other vegetables in here, please feel free. Let me know. Tag me. Let me know how it goes. I love being tagged when people are cooking. I get so proud. But yeah, so I'm gonna brown these, and then I'm gonna add my garlic now. And then right after that, I'm gonna add my meat, my plant-based meat, so that it can brown up in there. There you go. Yeah. And just add that on there until it's brown. And while it's browning, you keep slicing your green beans. So yeah, I grew up eating this. My mom would make a bunch of these and then freeze it. And then whenever, you know, whenever we want to have it, we'll just fry it. And there it goes. So I'm going to add my soy sauce now. It's a little bit dry, so I'm going to add my soy sauce. And then FYI, this recipe is in my ebook. If you guys want to get it, I'm sure Christy and everybody else will send a link on the chat box, hopefully. Yeah, so see, it's already kind of browning up here. I'm gonna add my green beans, and then I'm gonna add my cabbage. So I'm using just a regular cabbage. This is traditional, guys. I mean, my mom used to put jicama, which is also really good in here, or mung bean sprouts. I'll never forget that. She always add that in. Mung bean sprouts. I couldn't find any today, so I just omitted it. You can always, you know, whatever you want to add. I'm gonna add my mixed vegetables. Yeah, I'm pretty much done. Just add everything in here. I'll add black pepper and some mushroom powder. And you don't want to season this with too much soy sauce. You know, sometimes we don't even season this with soy sauce. We just put mushroom powder or, you know, salt and pepper. Because what happens is when you do wrap these things in the wrapper, if you put too much soy sauce, it will turn dark when you fry them. So that's the secret, is not to put too much soy sauce. If you can help it, not put it on, put it in, then you know. And I'm gonna add my black pepper, and then I'm gonna add some mushroom powder because. And be careful because some of the mushroom powders out there, like the one in the Asian stores, they have salt. And you don't want your lumpia to be super salty. So yeah, so it's almost done, guys. I'm gonna show this to you right now. You can see it? There you go. Yeah, so I'm just gonna let these guys cook for 1 more second here. Turn it off, and then we can do questions after. So easy, right? Anyone can do this. Yeah, turning it off. And then what you need to do is strain this stuff. If you did put soy sauce or whatever it is, you're gonna strain it in like a colander here, because you don't want your lumpia to be soggy when you wrap them. So I always drain them for a little bit and then pull them off, because also when you wrap these and they are still hot, then it will rip your wrappers. Like this is the wrapper I use, just so you guys can see. You can also get other brands at like main grocery stores. So what I do is I just take them out. Usually these guys are frozen, but take them out of the package. This is how I open the package. I hate packaging. I wish people would just make it easier for everybody to open stuff. I smell like, urgh. So yeah, I just take them off, I peel them off, you know, like this. And then I'll keep peeling, and then I'm waiting for my filling to cool off. And maybe Christy can come in and we'll do some questions, hopefully. You're still there?
Yeah, here I am.
Yay!
And let me look into the chat. And what was the vegan meat that you were using?
Beyond Meat.
Oh, nice. Well, you can't go wrong with Beyond Meat, really, can you?
Yeah, there's Beyond Meat. You can use any. I mean, everybody's got their own crumbles now, you know, nowadays.
That's true. Or if they're magicians like you, they can whip up some of their own homemade seitan in their kitchen.
Yeah, that takes 3 days. That is like a project, you know.
I have been so inspired seeing all the different fake meats that people are coming up with in the COVID times.
Yes, it's just the same group as I am, right?
It's amazing. It's like watching a magic show. It really is
amazing. Yeah, I love it. So it's so inspiring, you know.
Yeah, if anybody out there is wondering what we're talking about, there are all these new seitan do-it-yourself seitan Facebook groups out there, and they are so exciting, and it's been so fun to watch because Reyna's been participating in a lot of them. And one of my best friends in the entire world, Jeremy, who lives in Washington, D.C., actually he's in Baltimore now. They become friends over in this group, and they've never actually met each other.
Yeah,
talking about seitan.
He's so funny. We talk all the time on Messenger. He's so cool. I love him. He's so great.
Isn't he the best? I love him too.
Yeah.
And our co-host today, Deidre, is an old friend of Jeremy's also.
Deidre.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, now we're getting all kinds of good questions. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was Beyond Meat for this particular one, but Reyna said you can use whatever faux meat you want to. Like or you can make
together. Like, don't even use it, any of it.
Oh yeah, or just use vegetables.
Yeah.
And when you when you go to strain the vegetables, do you leave them in the strainer for a bit, or do you just
Yeah, you just leave it there until all the juice comes out. Like sometimes when you put too much soy sauce or the veggies, the kind of veggies you're using, it gets so wet, and then what happens is when you wrap it, then it rips it in half, and then you just, it's over. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's my problem usually.
Yeah, or you can put it on like a paper towel, if you're in a rush, you can just like, put it in a paper towel, and then it'll soak all the juice, and then you can start rolling after that.
That's such a good tip. And waiting for it to cool down, another really important important tip.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so fun. And where do you get the spring roll wrappers? Can you get those?
Pacific Super, which is an Asian market, or it's everywhere, guys. I mean, you can go to Safeway, you can go to Whole Foods, you can go Sprouts. I mean, they all have. Just make sure you don't get the rice paper wrappers, because those are different. Those are actually made of rice paper. This one's made out of flour and water, basically, and they just flatten it like this. So it's a different kind of wrapper. It's the spring roll wrapper. It's not the rice paper wrapper, just so you know.
Oh, good to know. And are there any vegetables that you wouldn't recommend doing this with?
Well, I always say potato, but then, samosas are made out of potato. So
Oh,
there really isn't any, there's no, there are no rules at all. I mean, beets, I might not. That would be weird. But
yeah, beets might be kind of strange.
yeah. Yeah.
and kind of messy too.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, and we are going to be frying these, not baking these, correct?
Yeah, we're frying. We're not healthy today, unfortunately. Well, my friend Ava, she tried doing the air fryer because she's like on a diet constantly. So she tried it and it was awful. So she said, okay.
Oh no.
Yeah, the air fryer doesn't work. This really works. And then you know what? You don't have to deep fry it. What I do is I pan fry it, because everything that you're putting in your wrapper is already cooked, right? So you don't have to cook the inside of this. This is already all cooked on the inside. So all you're doing is crisping up the wrapper. So I'm just getting I put a little bit of oil here just to crisp up the outside. That's all we're doing.
Oh, that's a good point. So it's not like it's sitting in the oil. It's literally just going to go in the oil long enough for it to get crispy.
Exactly.
And then folks can always, drain them on a paper towel, get rid of any excess oil too.
Absolutely, yes. 100. Or you can do a colander too. That's what I'm doing right now. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. What oil do you prefer?
Canola is my favorite, but I know that people like peanut oil because they have a very high temperature, high heating point, and it doesn't burn stuff. But a lot of people are allergic to peanuts, so I really don't use as much as I can.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, you want to avoid any kind of peanut allergies, just because that can be really, really bad. I almost sent a friend to the hospital once. Did not know he had a peanut allergy.
Yeah, but yeah. So I guess I just wanted to talk about the care packages before I start rolling.
Oh yes, please.
So we have care packages that we're making at the restaurant. It's basically a pound of vegan meat that we make at the restaurant, like the carnitas, the adobo, the caldereta, we have a new one called the beef bulgogi. It's a Korean style beef, which is super good. And we also have adobo. I think I already said that, but tocino. So we have all these frozen stuff that's already at the Butcherson. They have it there. If you guys are in the Bay Area, the East Bay, you can go grab it. But we are selling these because, we're going on another lockdown, guys. And, if you want to eat good at home, you just grab some of those and then you can cook it and make it your own, you know?
I love that you're doing those care packages, especially for those of us who are now very, very far away from the South Bay. I'm so glad that they're available at the Butcher's Son. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, you know, I love Butcher's Son. So, you know, you guys can go get it there and maybe grab a cheesecake because, like, that's my favorite over there.
Oh, those cheesecakes are absolutely divine.
Right? And so
They're
they
crazy good.
have new cake, which I'm gonna go there today and grab it because I have to drop some stuff off in the East Bay. But they have a date walnut, date cake or something. Oh my goodness.
Ooh, I haven't even tried that one yet.
Yeah, I think it's new. It's new, so I'm gonna go see what that's all about today.
Oh my goodness. Deidre, we're heading over to Butcher's Son.
Okay, so if no one has a question, I will continue to wrap these guys up for you guys. So I'm gonna take about a teaspoon of the filling. Okay, I mean tablespoon, I'm sorry, a tablespoon. And so I'm gonna do this a couple times so you guys can see what I'm doing. So what I do is I form like a diamond here with a wrapper. And then I add my filling right on like 2 inches from the edge. And I fold it over like this. And I pull it back really tight. And the reason why I do this really tight, and I think I've done this in demo before, is we don't want any of the oil to go inside the wrapper. So we need to make this really tight. So I'm pulling it back. And then when it reaches the middle, I fold it over. Then I fold it over again. And then roll it until you seal it up with this mixture of flour and water. So there you go. See? It should be really tight when you touch it. Shouldn't be anything, there shouldn't be any holes in them. Okay, I'm gonna do another one. I'm gonna keep going and then you guys can ask your questions while I'm doing it too. So please feel free.
What is the suggested dipping sauce for these?
Okay, so there's a few things. Different cities in the Philippines do different things. The Tagalog, or which is the Manila, the main city, they do a mixture of soy sauce, vinegar, and then crushed garlic and tomato, diced tomatoes and onions. Where I'm from, we just do garlic minced with vinegar. That's how we dip it. But me personally, I take vinegar and I put sambal. I don't know if you guys know what sambal is, but it's sambal all like is a chili sauce. You can also buy anywhere. And I add it with some vinegar, and that is, my friend, gold. I mean, I could eat maybe 10 of these just because of their dipping sauce. So good. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep doing this till we're ready to fry it. I don't have very much, so probably heat this up now.
Is Erwin your cameraman again today?
No, my cameraman's not here. He was here. We went out yesterday to Oakland to support Malibu Burgers grand opening.
I saw they're open now. I saw y'all were there. Was the food amazing?
Oh my God, so good. And they're really good people. You know, I love them. They're very nice.
They do some amazing stuff. I'm so excited to go check out their new.
The line was so long, Christy. It was like 3 miles long.
It looked like it. I saw the photos. I was like, oh my goodness. But you know what? I would totally wait in that kind of line for them.
Worth it for sure. And then you know, his mom, Casa Burendia, I love her. She does like these empanadas, Puerto Rican empanadas that were I've ordered from her before and it's so good. Yeah.
Empanadas are always delicious, and they're very that to me says holidays also. My family is is half Mexican. So empanadas and pozole and tamales, that's like
Great.
holiday food for me.
Yeah, so see how quick it is? I just made about 6 of them very quickly. And then people love this because they can literally put whatever they want in here. And then it's so fast, you know? I love fast. I love it when it's just, you don't have to take 10 days to make stuff.
Fast and versatile.
Yes, that's what I like for sure. So I'm almost done. I'm just gonna cook these up real quick. Just gonna fry them. Turn it down. Yeah, so just medium low heat until really you're just browning it. So no big deal. Just be careful. Don't burn yourself like I do constantly. I still get burned even though, right? It's so weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I have permanent scars on my hands and arms from all my years in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, kitchen girl too. I forgot. Yeah, you know this. Yeah, I mean, see how quick it is? It just got brown right away. And so again, you're just really cooking the wrapper. You're not doing special. So quick.
Hi, Erwin. Thanks for tuning in.
Yay, Erwin here. He's supposed to be my taste tester, but I got kind of frazzled today, so I couldn't really get back to him too soon. So
And
yeah,
that's a low medium heat?
yeah, low medium heat, but look at it, guys.
Wow.
So all you're doing is you're cooking the wrapper, and yeah, and then I'm almost done here. I'm almost done. So
Erwin says he came in late. Which veggies did you use?
which what?
Which veggies did you use?
All the stuff that's good for you, man. All the veggies that are good for you. Okay? Turn you into a whole food plant-based. No, I'm just kidding. Never gonna happen. Yeah. What did he say?
He did a smiley face emoji and a green heart emoji.
Oh. Erwin's my brother, guys. He's single. I always say that.
And I have to mention again, if anybody wants some like serious like food porn, like really fun like images of all kinds of great vegan food, home cooked, available in the Bay Area, supporting local restaurants, you really need to follow Reyna on Instagram. You should follow Erwin on Instagram, and you should follow Ava Tong on Instagram. You three have some of the best pictures I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you, girl. I didn't even know you were watching, but thank you. Yeah, so yeah, I'm done with mine. See, they're all brown and good and yummy. So
oh, and what was the name of the chili sauce again? The chili paste?
yeah, sambal, Sambal.
Sambal.
Sambal, yeah. So I'm gonna put these in my colander. Pretty much done. Show you guys here in a minute.
And that really doesn't take any time at all.
Nope. And that's the way I like to cook at home. You know, because who's got time for that? No one. Yeah, so I'm just gonna fry up the last two, and then yeah.
Pat, I'm gonna tell you what we told Erwin. All of the veggies that are good for you. That's what's in there. All of the veggies that are good for you.
That's right, Erwin. Veggies that you're supposed to eat. That's what it was. All right, so I'm gonna put this right here. You guys can see. Right here.
Sorry, Pat. Pat said that was my question, not Erwin's.
Using my hands because I could not find my utensil that I need, which drives people crazy because I should have the the right utensils, but I don't. I like to work bootleg style. I like to have a hard time. People say that you like to have a hard time, huh? I say, yeah, I give myself a hard time all the time.
There was green beans, there was carrots in there, there was Beyond Meat.
Garlic, onion. Tell Erwin he can come over and eat this because I can't eat it. I can't because my teeth are killing me.
Oh my gosh, those look amazing.
So.
Erwin says, I'm heading over soon.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
And then
so literally just a couple minutes in a low, medium, just lightly oiled pan and you're done.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm gonna show you my sauce so that you know. The sauce.
Oh, yummy.
So it's like a spicy, vinegary yumminess that is so good.
Oh, Deborah has a great question. Can you use bean sprouts or would that get too soggy?
Oh my God, that's what I was gonna put in here. My mom used to always put bean sprouts in here, but they didn't have it at the store. They didn't have it, so I was kind of bummed.
Well, bean sprouts are they're a nice little versatile veggie there too.
Very much so. Yeah, and they're so good because they add like a crunch to the dish.
Oh yeah, and a little protein kick too.
100%. And then you know what? I've seen people add like chopped broccoli in here, cauliflower. Yeah, so yeah, that we don't do that in the Philippines, but.
Oh, Pat's asking, are they matchstick veggies?
Not necessarily. My mom used to do matchstick because she was extra, but you know. Be extra as you want.
You can get super fancy if you want, Pat.
Right.
I feel like I'm sitting at the table at Nick's kitchen talking between you two. Oh, and Reyna did say that himika is good in it also.
Yes, jicama. Yeah, my mom did that. They did a julienne, like really thin strips of that. Mm-hmm. So good. It really is good. I mean, my mom's lumpias are a little bit bigger than mine. But yeah, I like them like this. I think she would really like this, to be honest.
And I'm just amazed at how quickly they came together.
Yeah. I mean,
it seems like it would take a lot more time than that.
The only thing that takes a long time is to wrap the lumpias, the wrapping part. But I mean, if you want to make it like a friends, when you guys are family, they're all together, and then before dinner, you guys can sit around and chit chat and just start rolling. And before you know it, you have like hundreds of them.
Yeah. That's how we used to do tamales at my grandma's house. After Thanksgiving, she'd make us make tamales, whether we wanted to or not.
Exactly. That's what you have kids for. No, just kidding.
Well, that's what she told us. She would tell us, that's your job. That is your job.
Well, my kids don't even help, so it's okay.
Thank you so much. And I wanted to let everybody know, Deidre put a link in the chat to Chef Reyna. So that's Reyna's website. There's also a link to her to her ebook in the chat, and it's also on the front page of her website. Thank you, Dee. She put up the link again for us.
Her, she's so fast.
She is. She's a great co-host. I actually have had the best co-host for this cooking series. I had Erin Laninfa, and I've had Deidre Arrow, and I even got Bob to do the first one this morning. So he was my charming co-host this morning. So shout out to the three of y'all. I really appreciate your help today. And it's been so much fun. I'm so glad you were able to join us for this. And what a fun way to do this.
It is.
And I wanted to let everybody know we'll be getting if you missed any of the cooking demos during the series, we'll be editing the videos and posting them as soon as possible. I'll make sure and let everybody know about that. And you can find the recipe for the vegetable lumpias that Chef Reyna made today in her book. So make sure and check out her book and just go to you can get it on Amazon, or you can get it if you go to chefreyna.com. The link is on the front page.
Thank you so much for having me, you guys. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you so much for joining us, Reyna. I always love working with you, and I hope we get to see each other again very soon.
Sure, anytime, and same to you too.
And Erin says she misses you also.
Oh, I miss you, girl. Let's go out. Oh, we can't. Sorry.
I know. Okay, as soon as this is all over, we're having a major vegan girls' night is what's happening. Thank you so much, my dear friend. Happy holidays to you, and everybody make sure and go get some get those care boxes. I'm telling you, that's what you want to do for the holidays for sure. Either go to Butcher's Son, you can order them online at chefreyna.com, but get yourself set for the holidays the right way.
Yes. Bye.
Thank you so much, dear. I'll see you soon.
I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Happy holidays.
You too.